Every day, new instances of misappropriation of money are surfacing from the DOGE inquiries. The way they have gone about doing it, it just blows my mind that a bunch of teenagers, probably in their young, late teens or early 20s, are able to unearth so much information, so much sloth, so much corruption that has happened and has been happening in the United States Treasury Department as well as in various agencies. And I'm going to show it today two things which again are really, really disturbing. Number one is the Department of Treasury, it cannot account for $50 billion of expenses. It is just not able to explain where that money went. And the second one is even more disturbing because is it misgovernance or is it corruption? That also I'm going to discuss. A small slide deck to share with you all the data that has been uncovered thus far, and you can understand why some in the government are jumping up and down. So here we go. Treasury cannot account for close to $50 billion. If you see this particular tweet, you will understand, because this is still breaking, it's just like 1 hour old, you will understand why there is a huge amount of concern about this. Elon Musk says that the US Treasury Department and DOGE have agreed to do some urgent reforms because they have seen that over $100 billion in entitlement payments go to individuals without social security numbers. Most likely they are dead. And out of that 50 billion, so 100 billion appears to have been sent to people who don't have social security numbers. The other one is 50 billion appears to be outright fraud. Who is getting all this money and where is that getting parked? I mean, these are all not small numbers, huge numbers. That's why US is running up its deficit the way it is. This should concern every taxpayer because whatever this is uncovered, this is telling you that the US government, the infrastructure has completely become corrupt. Now, that is one side. As if that's not enough, there is misgovernance. It's just the title says governance, but it's misgovernance and instances of corruption. It one or the other, we don't know, but it could be both also. What happened? Now, the Congressional Budget Office has released a report that says that there has been massive unauthorized spending for 2024, reporting that the Congress allocated $516 billion to programs with expired authorizations. Some of them go back over 40 years. See, what happens is that, Congress is appropriating money. They vote on bills. The bills will have some budget along with them. So the budget gets defined, but the end date is always defined. It's for a certain period of time. And then you have to go back to Congress and you have to renew it. The numbers could change. The votes could change. All this is supposed to happen. But what has been unearthed is just mind-blowing. So we covered $100 billion in the Department of Treasury. Here we are covering $516 billion. And how many misappropriations? 1264. That expired before the start of fiscal year 2024. That means something has been voted on some years ago, my understanding, okay? Something that was voted on many years ago, and then it should have stopped after a certain period. Everything has an end by date. Everything has an end by date. And yet, this thing has just kept on going. And now, with software, they are uncovering all these excesses. In 2025, that is this year, 251 more authorizations are set to expire, including $892 billion in defense spending. By the way, many of us were wondering whether Trump would look into the spending that is happening in Department of Defense, and Trump has said yes, he is going to inquire, he is going to audit the Department of Defense also. This has not been audited for a long time. That too is going to be audited. I think Trump has determined that he's going to get to the bottom of this corruption. Doesn't matter which department, doesn't matter where. First, you need to get your hands around the problem. Only then you can work towards a solution. That appears to be the approach. I really, really commend him for taking this plunge. Now you look at some of the expired authorization. The first one appears to be 44 years old, 1980. I mean, lawmakers are continuing to fund programs without proper approvals. Essentially, these are blank checks. Somebody is making money hand over fist. Funds were distributed without updated evaluations, reviews, or reforms for these programs. I mean, tomorrow, if the Congress were to just shut down for 6 months, I think the nation would benefit because less amount of wastage will be going. And that would give the DOGE time to find out where all the money has been stashed away. They're not going to stop at just looking at where the money has left. They are going to follow the money to the last cent. This is what is putting many Democrats and perhaps government officials in a complete state of panic. We don't know how much money who has made. Funds were distributed without updated evaluations, reviews, or reforms. And without current authorization, there is no guarantee that funds were effectively allocated or are serving their intended purpose. And we have some data here. You may want to pause every screen to understand the details of where all the money got misappropriated. And this is $516 billion here. That all the different things are there. House Authorizing Committee has an agriculture, armed services, education and workforce, energy and commerce, financial services, and then it goes on. The next one is Senate Authorizing Committee. They have done appropriations. Like that, you have these are the expired authorization. That means no money should have gone there, yet money did. Where did the money come from? Public laws that are major sources of expired authorization of appropriation with identifiable appropriations in 2023 and 2024. If you look at the bottom line, in 2023 it was $519 billion, and in 2024 it is $516 billion. See, all these things come back to roost. Somewhere somebody has become really, really rich. And they are afraid, like I said, that the trail will come down to their doorstep and that they will be asked to, first of all, cough up, second, face jail terms. This is revolutionary. I can't tell you enough. I can't emphasize enough importance to the kind of work that is going on right now by the DOGE. And there is absolutely no doubt about where all this is going. These are the records. There is nothing being made. This is just analysis and reports being generated that this is where the data seems to have gone missing. What is going to happen next is anyone's guess, but I think that we are in for a serious introspection in the United States. A lot of money has been swallowed. And who swallowed it, how they swallowed it, where they have parked it, how they have spent it, all this stuff is going to come out sooner or later. Sooner, I think. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.